What's up everybody, Shawnee Sham Anime here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing One Piece chapter 991. I know I missed One Piece chapter 990, but we're back this week. This chapter was really lit. Last week's chapter was really good too. It wasn't last week, it was like 2 weeks ago. But 2 weeks ago, that chapter was really good too. I just feel like Oda continuously has been giving us like these insane chapters like week after week, and this one did not disappoint. Definitely did not disappoint. We got some great moments from many of the Straw Hats. We got more stuff with the Akazaya 9. I'm so excited to talk about it. Make sure to stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping a Kaido video within the next 2 weeks or so. I really liked what he did in this chapter, so make sure you have those notifications on to get notified when that video comes out. But make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more anime and One Piece content. I'm gonna say it again. I keep reiterating myself, but I am sick of gang badges on my family. Sick of it. Like, can we please get a new cover story? Hopefully, I mean, it was good, little payoff, like hug each other, alright, happy ending. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully we finally get something new. I don't want to see this anymore. I want something else. But when I talk about this chapter, I kind of want to break it down into two different parts because I feel like there were two different sections. There was like the Straw Hats down below and what they did, and the Akazaya 9 and Kaido up top. So we're going to start off with the Straw Hats and down below. And I love where Oda's going with this. It gives me such like early One Piece vibes. Like, it feels like every member of the Straw Hats is meaningful to this crew and is going to have a fight. I've been saying it for a few weeks now that I like how the numbers and the Toby Roppo pose different threats so we can see more people involved and get more fights from different people. As we saw early, we got some really cool Zoro moments and some really cool moments from some of the other Straw Hats as well, just with their interactions with X Drake. And he comes in and he's like, what happened 2 weeks ago in the last chapter, he's like, oh, I want to help you guys defeat Kaido. And Zoro instantly, always with the smoke, always ready for it, is like, well, why are we gonna let you switch sides? And then Jinbei goes to show his experience, and he's like, there's still a code of honor. Like, yeah, we're pirates, but there's still there's still a sign of respect. Like, we're not just gonna rock with you switching teams. And then in classic Luffy fashion, Luffy's just like, okay, whatever. And like, I love that. I love when it happened with Law back on Punk Hazard, and I love how it happens now. And Zoro's like, you moron, we're not really gonna like team up with this guy just because he said he wants to kill Kaido too. But no, they do. That's how they want it to go. And it's like, it's cool how they all interact and say that. Like, Jinbei's like, no, Frankie's like, no, we're not letting him rock. And then like Page One and Ulti show up, and they like blow things up, and they're like taking out the samurai, which is like, and I think it's cool. Jinbei said it. Jinbei was like, no, we have to make sure, like, if we don't get rid of these guys, then like the samurai are gonna like perish. We're not gonna have many of the samurai left. And it was so awesome to see. We see Usopp and we see Nami ready for the smoke. Well, not really. Like, Usopp with his little green star, he shoots them, and they're like ready to fight. They're ready to fight Ulti and Page One, and then all of a sudden they book it out. Classic Usopp and Nami fashion. They just dip, and it was so cool. Like, this is what I mean when I say like classic One Piece. We might get a fight between all of the Straw Hats. Like, we see Usopp and Nami ready to fight, and then Frankie takes out one of the numbers, and so he might fight him too. And it's just, I hope we get to see all of the Straw Hats fight against someone or have their own fight, because that's like, it's really cool to see and exciting to see. Like, I want more of the Straw Hats involved. And I was gonna mention this on a video that I was supposed to make last chapter, but I didn't. Just some stuff going on. Like, I was really wondering where Apu was. Like, I feel like we hadn't seen him in a while. Like he wasn't around for a lot of the chapters. And then in like, oh, I love this. I was really excited to see this. This was probably one of my favorite parts of the chapter, low key. We get to see Luffy use premonition haki, and he notices he's running with Sanji, which I think is cool. I think it's exciting how he trusts in Sanji, and the two of them are like, all right, let's go up to Kaido. I know I mentioned before how Zoro wanted to go up there, so I gotta mention how Sanji wants to go up there too. Like, they're both with this. They're both ready for it. They want to help Luffy take down Kaido. And Luffy respects them enough to believe in them to go up there with him. Like, I don't think that he would... I'm not sure, but I don't think that he would like take Nami and Usopp and Chopper up there to fight with him. But he's confident in Sanji and he's confident in Zoro to go up there. And so as they're running, we see him use premonition haki. And it was awesome how clear it was that he was using it. Like, so we've seen him kind of use it before, but it's never been like, ding, like we've never seen Oda clarify it this much that he used it. And then we see Apu, and we get like his own panel. We get to see where his bounty's at right now, which is, it's still pretty low, I guess, because he's been working with Kaido so much in Wano that he hasn't really been around, I guess, hasn't really been like causing that much of a ruckus because he's been in Wano and he's been under Kaido. So his bounty hasn't really had time to grow that much. Like 350 million is not that big of a bounty compared to everybody else. I mean, obviously it is a big bounty, but we get to see Apu be like the ancient giant whisperer, like talking to these giants, and he calls in one of them. And this was a pretty funny thing. The giant likes Frankie, which is cool because we all love Frankie's design. Like, it's cool. He almost looks like a toy. So the giant wants to treat him like that, and you see the giant's eyes glow up, and he's like, wow. And Jinbei shows his experience because he's like, Frankie, get out of here. Like, as soon as you can, bounce so that we can save these samurai, like I said earlier. So I thought it was awesome how Oda's continuously personifying each of our Straw Hat members and making them show who they are. Like, he's experienced. He's an experienced pirate, and he's showing that. And he has showed it consistently since he got here to Onigashima. I actually really like the team up between Zoro and X-Drake. I know X-Drake's like a member of the sword thing in the military, so maybe that has something to do with it. But it's just cool to see the two of them, they're going back and forth, and Zoro's like, nah, I'm not just gonna let you join us. And they're kind of fighting, obviously, they're not really going full strength, they're just kind of battling a little bit. And Apu gets in the way, and they're like, alright, we're gonna rock this guy real quick. Drake is like, I never liked you from the beginning, bro, I'm knocking you out, this is not happening. So that was cool to see, and then Zoro's like, yeah, I'm with you, bro. Let's mess this guy up. Let's get him out of here. I'm not trying to deal with this dude anymore. So they both clobber him. And then I think it's on the next page that we finally get to see the environmental payoff that Wano has. We've been kind of wondering how the Sea Prism Stone would come into effect on Onigashima. So it was really awesome to see how their weapons manufacturing came up with this big machine gun of Sea Prism Stone bullets. And Queen is just on top, raining from above. He's firing at them, and they're dodging them, and they're like, did you really think that these would have an effect on us? And then Drake realizes, he's like, oh shit, this is Sea Prism Stone, this is bad. So I'm wondering to see how that's going to affect him going forward. Maybe I could see Zoro kind of putting out there for him and protecting him against Queen. I think we might get to see some Zoro versus Queen, maybe not next chapter, but soon, definitely soon. Because they're going at each other, and I feel he might feel this kind of obligated responsibility, you know how Zoro usually gets, to protect Drake. So I'm excited to see where that goes, and maybe is it really going to affect him for the entire battle? Is he going to have these Sea Prism Stones inside of him? Maybe Law can do something about that, get them out of there. Speaking of Law, we haven't seen much from Law. We haven't really seen him in a while. We've got a few little panels of him, but I want him involved. This was part of his plan. Is he going up to face Kaido? What? I want to see I want to see where he is and what he's doing. I feel he just hasn't really been too involved in Onigashima yet. But that's about it for the Straw Hats down low. I feel like everyone kind of had their own character moment to display who they are as a character. And Oda's done, I've mentioned it in the past, but Oda's done such a good job of personifying each character through, even if it's little panels. And even if it's a full chapter, like, we get to see and get reminded of who these characters are and how they're going to act in these situations. But going up top to the Akazaya 9, this is where the chapter really heats up. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Nekomamushi and Inuyarashi, like, actually fight Jack, which I really want. Like, I really wanted to see him get, like, his ass beat. Like, that's kind of what I've been waiting for. Like, I wanted to see the Sulong forms, like, in action against him, like, in a fight. Like, I wanted to see, after everything that happened on Zou, I really wanted to see Jack get, like, his shit kicked in. Like, I was excited for that. But, I mean, he does, but we don't get to see it. And maybe, I know we haven't, like, really seen a lot of fights, but I feel like this could open up for the anime to be, like, really good when it gets to Onigashima, because they can add more to these fights, and they can show us these fights, and it won't really feel like filler, because even though we haven't seen it, it's stuff that, like, we may want to see. Like, I'd want to see Inuyarashi and Nekomamushi, like, really giving Jack the work. I'd want to see them going at it, and, like, more of the Sulong forms fighting against Kaido's army up above there. Like, that's stuff that I want to see. I know it's not imperative to the story, but it would definitely serve well in the anime, which I think is good. I think that's exciting. I'm not really complaining about it too much, but more awesome stuff from Kaido. I've really grown to like Kaido so far in this arc. I like the way he treats Jack right here. He's like, you're not weak for for losing to these guys. Like, I accept your apology, but you're not weak. These are strong people, especially in their Sulong forms. He's ready to put himself out on a limb for someone that he values in his crew. You have to do that for your crew. You have to be a leader. You have to take care of them and protect them, which is, I mean, it's why he's one of the strongest pirate captains in the world, because he has that will, that strength, that drive to protect and fight for his crew, which I'm definitely making a video on that soon. Stay tuned, hit that notification button so you can be notified when my Kaido video comes out, because it's going to be an awesome one. But back to the chapter. We've got some stellar panels with Kaido. I feel like I just love Kaido in his dragon form, but to see him protecting Jack against Sulong, Dog, and Cat it's like, it looks a little jumbled, but I really like the way it was framed, because then it's like, all right, now we're going to zoom in and we're going to see this stellar panel of, like, these awesome designs of Dog, Storm, and Cat Viper. Like, you can't tell me that this panel isn't beautiful. Oh my god, their designs are awesome. They look so sleek and so, like, so strong. They don't really look as old or, like, kind of chubby anymore. They look, like, menacing, and they look, like, sleek and strong, and it's beautiful. It's such a cool panel. Their designs are so great. Like, it's awesome. But more on Kaido, I love the way that he reacts. He's like, all right, like run. You gotta run. Like, I'm about to send off these blast breaths, which apparently he can do. Like, he can just send them off, which is crazy because they're blowing up mountains and shit. So in that panel where he sends off the blast breath, like, oh my god, the last panel, the last 2 pages were like, oh my god, beautiful. Like, peak Oda. This is peak Oda right here. Like, you see him firing that blast, and then I think it was in the page right before it, we get to see a little bit of Kinemon, like, sheathing his sword. And I never thought about this, but it's such, like, elite planning by Oda, because he's been setting this up. Like, he was like, Foxfire Kinemon. Kinemon can cut fire. He can defend against fire. So, like, he's perfect to go against Kaido, to block against these attacks. He can literally cut through it. And then you see him, like, cut Kaido, and everybody from the Akazaya 9 is just like, no, like, we're not running this time. We're fine with dying. They literally say it. They're like, we're okay with dying, but once we take your head. And that's awesome. Like, I think the final panel of the chapter was like a close-up of Kaido, and you can see him. He's like, he's angry. He's like, all right, this is going to be tough. Like, this isn't going to be this isn't going to be a cakewalk like I thought it was. And that's awesome. Like, this chapter was stellar. I felt like the beginning was a little It was a little like, the conversations were a little weird. They were a little like plotted, I guess. They didn't feel as smooth, but the second half of the chapter just makes up for it. Like, it's, you can't really compete with that. But one more thing I wanted to mention. So obviously I've been talking about, like, I want to see Zoro face Kaido, and I think this chapter gives us more support for Zoro going up against Kaido at some point. We saw in the past in Punk Hazard that Zoro wants to learn the fire style and how to cut fire. So, like, it would be really cool if Kinemon teaches him that maybe in the heat of the moment, or he learns it like he has in the past in battle, and he like goes up against Kaido and has to kind of like protect Luffy from Kaido's fire. I think that would be really cool. So awesome. I just feel like it's setting up for that. It can't, like, why else would Oda like put those things in there, you know? He always does it for a reason, so why wouldn't it be that reason? But, you know, I this chapter was fantastic. Like I said, the beginning, the conversations were a little plotted. I felt like they didn't go as smooth. But just the way that each Straw Hat represents themselves, the way that the Akazaya 9 go up against Kaido, and those panels with Kaido and Jack are just awesome. I love seeing Jack get messed up. I hope we get to see more in the anime. I mentioned that earlier. But yeah, this was a really good chapter, and I think it's going to continue like this. I think we're going to continuously get like banger after banger after banger. So, you know, if you like this video, comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more anime and One Piece content, and make sure you hit that notification button, because this Kaido video is going to be awesome. I'm going to give you a really cool breakdown on his character, on what I like about him, on how I feel like he's living up to his hype in the battles. Like, we've been going the entire New World to fight Kaido, and I feel like he has to live up to that.